We are back for another update on our Dorking project. Feel free to click the link above to see some of the previous videos, but for those of you who want to stay on and watch now, I'm going to quickly run through the job specification. So we have got a double story side extension and a single story rear extension. The double story side extension creates a new utility and downstairs cloakroom to the ground floor, as well as an enlargement to the entrance hall. And on the first floor, we have a new master bedroom ensuite, and to the rear extension creates one large open plan living space. Since the last video, we've got all of our scaffolding down, the main roof structure, everything externally is near enough there. We've got our newly installed black windows throughout. These are UPVC and they match in perfectly with our black ash soffit and fascias and our black guttering, creating that contemporary modern feel. We've continued our soffit and fascias through to the next property, and the client will be changing these other windows at a later date. You'll see some OSB planted on the wall. We've lowered the existing window to make this more symmetrical externally when looking front on. So we've got Barney here today, who's one of our ground workers. He's carrying out some changes to the drainage externally, because during the process of the build, it's quite common that the client might make some changes inside once they start to visualise everything. So one of the changes being that we're going to remove one of the pipes that we had coming out the ground, going to the manhole, and another change was moving the outlet further along to accommodate for our downpipe. So Barney's going to backfill that now, fill it with shingle and get it all prepped ready for the landscaping, as we're going to have landscaping down this side passageway, patio out the back, and then we're going to be doing the entire driveway out the front. Let's hop through the front door and see how the plasterers are getting on. Right, so let's show you the internal layouts, but for those of you at home watching this who haven't seen some of the previous videos, make sure you click the link above, because it will make this walkthrough process a lot clearer and easier for you to understand. So the existing external wall of this property ran along here, which can be indicated by the beam above. Now we removed this wall, extended out to the side and extended out to the back, but one of the things we wanted to create was a larger entrance hall and not everything to feel so crammed. So we removed some of the existing walls around the staircase, one of which being this one here, which was a block wall. We put some additional supports in here, which is then going to enable us to install a lovely glass balustrade throughout. So the first room to our right as you come through the front door is going to be the downstairs cloakroom, where there previously wasn't one. We've got concealed systems throughout this entire property, as it just creates more of a simplistic look. The WC, the family bathroom and the ensuite are all going to be tiled floor to ceiling and just painting the lids. Next door we have our all important utility room, which can be accessed by this pocket door. Pocket doors are just brilliant for maximising the amount of space in a room and not having to worry about it opening in or out. Now this utility room is going to be your typical layout. We're going to have a washing machine, tumble dryer, and then we're going to have a bank of units along this wall, I guess, with some extra storage for a hoover, brooms, whatever you may want to put in there. Over in the other corner we've got our underfloor heating manifold. So this is where all of our pipes from under the ground come to and are located. This underfloor heating is split up into two zones. So the first zone is in this entrance hall with the cloakroom and the utility room included. And then the second zone is in our new open plan living space. This spacious open plan living area was enabled by installing various stills throughout. And if you head over to our Instagram page, you can actually watch a snippet of the installation process. This area is going to be split up into 3 zones, but all merging as one. We're going to have our kitchen units wrapping along this wall here, coming round, continuing round, and then we're going to have an L-shaped island like so. So we have some additional units running along this wall. They're going to be tall units, but what that meant was that we had to relocate the existing doorway going in to the living room. So now this has been pushed over further to accommodate for that 600 unit. The TV snug is going to be located to the rear of the extension. We're going to have our sofa or chairs positioned over here, and over on this wall we're going to have our TV. The plug sockets and Ethernet cables are in position for them to install it. Behind me you're going to notice is plastic and timber work, as we are waiting for our bifold doors due to a mix match with suppliers. Due to a mix up with our suppliers, we've had to temporarily sheet this and still allow the light coming in so the guys can continue to carry on the works, such as the tiling, which is going to be carried out over the next couple of weeks. They're going to have tiles laid throughout the entire extension. To help maximise the amount of natural light coming to this extension, we've also installed this beautiful roof lantern above me, which has been finished off with some LED lighting going around the entire perimeter, which is quite a cool extra to add. So that's it for the ground floor, whilst our plasterers continue plastering. However, they're still having their lunch, as they have been for the last half an hour. But no, all jokes aside, it is lovely to work along some trades like these guys as they take extra care in that finished product, because it's all good us getting the main structure up, but it comes down to our plasterers, our decorators, our tilers to make sure that finished product is where we want it to be. Let's venture upstairs and see how Ben's getting on. So I'm just tidying up after the guys, because I do actually do some work, but I'm not a labourer, skilled carpenter. Let's get this in the skip. Let's fill the skip. Back inside. Like I mentioned downstairs, we've removed some of the existing walls around this staircase, one of which being this block wall, which continued over here. So now we've opened up the landing, making it a lot more spacious. We got Ben making some amendments to the existing door frames, as they had a bit of glass above, painted. Normally it's clear, allowing more light to flow through. Actually, I don't know what the reason is. Is it to allow more light to flow through, or is it to know if anyone's in the room or not? Let me know. So in this room over here is where our new master bedroom ensuite is located. We're going to have our bed positioned over here. Towards the front of the extension, we've got another one of our pocket doors. And then this is going to be where the ensuite is located. We've got another wall-mounted toilet with your concealed system, created that more simplistic and modern look. Fully tiled throughout, all the way from floor to ceiling. And then we've got our niche positioned over in the shower. This niche was created in the existing external wall. We installed a lintel along here, cut out into our stub work, allowing for some tiles to sit in there where you put your hair, shampoo. Shower valve's going to be positioned over here. Shower screen's going to come about halfway. Step in the shower, turn it on, in, and then back out the shower. Pushing you back, let's go into the new family bathroom. And yeah, you guessed it, we've got another wall-mounted concealed system for that simplistic look. The bath is going to be located out over here. We've got a 1650 bath. It's a little bit smaller than what we wanted, but we've been limited to the space we had for these existing external walls, and we didn't want to move it over and take up too much of the landing. Next to the bath, we're going to have a towel rail over here. We've got the pipework coming out, and then we're going to have our basin on the wall. In the previous video, you would have seen how we had a wall separating the toilet and the shower. So we removed this wall and just created one open area, which is the more modern look nowadays. So that's all we've got time for today, but make sure you keep your eyes peeled for our next video, where we'll be installing our bifolding doors. The tiles will be laid throughout. We've got our kitchen going in, we've got our bathrooms going in, all the internal finishings, so it's all going to be going down, so make sure you keep your eyes peeled. And what helps with that is clicking that little notification bell, where you'll be notified for any future videos coming onto the page. And whilst you're there, click that subscribe button. If you've got any questions about this project behind me, of any more of our ongoing projects, or even any questions about your own home and how we can maximise the amount of living space you have, then feel free to drop us a comment below. We'd love to hear from you. Catch you on the next one.